Hey, everybody. Welcome to Bearded Beggar Banter, the sports podcast. Welcome, Trent, in your ugly shirt.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
I
oh,
got
oh,
nothing to
oh.
talk about, dude.
Sorry, if you can't interpret what that shirt is, that is a blue devil standing over top of a knocked out Tar Heel.
Dude, we suck. That's all I gotta say.
Ooh,
Like, period. They
ooh.
just they suck.
Whew.
But
Well, I will say this, just before we jump right into Super Bowl talk here. Uh, Spread, which we were really debating on where it was. I did say double digits. It was, 13 and a half. I think it jumped to 14 right before tip.
yeah,
And Duke covered. Would have been more comfortably if they didn't let up a 17-2 run in the second half, but let up a 17-2 run and they still won by 17. So,
yeah,
all right, sorry, done rubbing that in.
yeah.
But we'll get to college basketball. Just want to kind of throw that out there, considering you and I are fans of the biggest rivalry in college basketball. And 'tis the season, but it is still the season of football.
Yeah, dude. I real quick that game number one. That game sucked. So I don't have anything to say. It
I
was
loved it.
just awful, and I think it also shows too that we got to move on, man. We got to make a big change here.
They're not.
So
All you're doing is joining what you're catching up to Duke. Duke hired a GM years before. That was the cool thing to do, and that's Hubert's way of saving his ass.
yeah,
But
for now. But
one thing I will say on that note is they've got to stop. I know, like, Duke stayed within house, but you've got to stop restricting yourself to Carolina only people. Like, that's what they said again. Like, oh, our GM is only going to be Carolina people, and it's like his whole staff is Duke people only.
yeah,
Or sorry, his whole staff is UNC people only, and it's like, I like that for to a point, but you
yeah.
also got to surround yourself by guys that are going to help you have success in this day and age of college basketball. So,
It
all right,
kind of reminds me of Dabo Sweeney saying he's not going to use the transfer portal. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's like
it's
you got
like,
to branch
don't,
out, dude. You got to get with the times a little bit.
yep, don't be an idiot.
Yeah. So, yeah. So this is our Super Bowl episode here. Unfortunately, Trey could not actually make this episode. He's got some school stuff going on. I'm going to link his video because he did submit about a 13 and a half minute video with his analysis, with some of his prop bets and stuff that I'll tag under the comments here on our X feed with our episode stuff. So definitely check his out.
Yeah.
I do have some of his analysis and stuff too, just to kind
Well,
of,
I was going to say,
gather
Ty,
and use.
our listeners were really hoping he'd be here to share his coin flips. That way they know to which way to go to fade him.
Don't worry. I already got that one.
It's
So
for
that
everybody
is
else.
one I know for sure.
Once they hear his pick, everybody else is making money. Oh, he's not here to defend himself. I'm sorry, Trey. You can come at me later, maybe Sunday at the Super Bowl party.
So along our ticker there, as you can see, that's all of the different prop bets that we're going to get into after we go through some analysis here, just Super Bowl analysis with the Eagles and the Chiefs stuff. So if you kind of want to pay attention down there, we're also going to share out a prop bet sheet on our X account. I'll put it on our Instagram account and also our TikTok account too. You can make a copy of it. You can print it out if you'd like to share it with your friends. It's a kind of a combination of different books. Took really kind of the best numbers of stuff and just also some for fun prop bets as well. But print that out, check it out, and it also has a link to our merch store. So check that out. Get your March Madness gear while you can. So let's get into Super Bowl 59 here, Trent, because no, obviously not necessarily we talked about not necessarily the teams that we wanted, but nevertheless, it is still the Super Bowl. There's still a lot of food to eat, some beer to be drank. So let's get into it.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm going to start first, at least with my initial thoughts here on some game management stuff. I really do believe that the Chiefs aren't going to change a whole lot. Their defense has really been their bread and butter most of the season, if you will. I mean, Spags has been getting those guys to really play ball, and when it's really crunch time, I know everybody always wants to harp on the Chiefs offense, but that Chiefs defense is pretty vicious. I think you're going to start to see too. I mean, you have your tush push in Philly. That that play in itself could say a lot about where this game goes, in certain crunch time situations, whether it's going for it on fourth down or whether it's inside the 2, whether it's inside the 1. What are they going to do? What are we looking at here? So I think that Chiefs defensive line, if they can find a way to kind of stop some of those continuation drives, if they find out how to do that, which I think they will, but I don't think it's going to be as, every single time. I think the Eagles are going to get theirs too. But if they do somehow find a way to stop them on, third and short, fourth and short, things like that, the game could get ugly. I don't think it will, but it could get ugly if that is the case.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't know. It is a rematch of just what it was only 2 years ago, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
So only 2 years ago, but when I sit there and look at it, I kind of see that like it's where I feel like the Eagles, and this is weird to say because the Chiefs are going for a three-peat, but at this point this season, I think the Eagles overall have made the improvements to their absences, right?
Yeah.
That they lacked in when they played the Chiefs the first time around. So I'll give you two
Yeah.
examples. Very first example is I think they have it's the glaringly obvious one. They have a better run game, right?
Mm-hmm.
They upgraded from Saquon's backup in college to now the starter Saquon because they had Miles Sanders, correct?
Right.
Who was a Penn State guy and
right.
tried to follow the footsteps of Saquon, if you recall.
Yeah.
But now you got Saquon, right? Offensive line has always been there. I think even when the Eagles were there last time to this time, hell, it's even better.
And
Nothing
they haven't
against
missed. They haven't
Kelsey.
really missed a step with that. Yeah, they haven't missed a step without
Yeah,
him though.
no, yeah, that center that for him to actually be out, but then come in and play in that game last week, I was pretty impressive. Respect offensive line. Those guys are just warriors. No skill guys doing that shit. When they're out, they're in a hoodie and sweatpants and chilling and eating snacks. But anyway, sorry, offensive line coach at heart, listeners. So anyway, the other area that I'm going to say that I feel like the Eagles got a lot better at is secondary, right?
Mm-hmm.
Their defensive backs. You got the safety out of Iowa, Cooper DeJean, right? You got is it Mitchell? I believe it is as well. The other rookie. You're just and you still have Slay who was there the last time around, but I think they knew they were weak in the secondary. They were strong in the box, so that's why I feel like the Eagles have gotten better. They've filled all those areas. Chiefs have not. They're not bad, obviously. They've only lost 2 games, and one of those games when they bench all their starters. But where I feel like it's different now is the Chiefs have an absolute powerful defense, shutdown defense, which might not have always been the case for the Chiefs in the past. But now I feel like the offense is different. Like I feel like it's not as explosive, right? Like I don't know. That to me is what kind of confuses me, but it also like amazes me and probably also frustrates the hell out of me that they're so unbeatable. Because I feel like they're like we said it on a past episode. If you put Aaron Rodgers stats and Patrick Mahomes stats side by side, Rodgers had the better statistical year. Right. But the Chiefs team, it's the Chiefs. It's reputation, it's organization as a whole. So
I think you said it right there, the reputation part of it. And I think I mentioned it last week. You have the Patriots back in the day where it was like, oh my gosh, we're playing the Patriots, and people literally just shit themselves on the field because it was the Patriots. And I think you have that same aura right now where, again, credit to the team, man, credit to Andy Reid and getting the guys to be as scary as they actually are, because when it all comes down to it, it's a mental game. I mean, there's a reason that the Bills literally just can't beat them in the playoffs, and it's mental. It's not talent. It's not, anything besides the fact that it's just like, hey, we just can't overcome it.
Yeah, little bit officiating. Like
we'll talk about that a little bit too, though.
Down, right? This close to a first down. I don't know.
Yeah. So I don't know. I know one of the things that Trey had mentioned too, and again, you guys can check it out in his video that's tagged under our X post, but Trey had mentioned about the Eagles, if they really want to win the game, that they can't have that simply just rely on Jalen Hurts' shoulders.
Yeah.
Which is consistent with what he said a lot of the time. I mean, he doesn't believe Jalen Hurts is elite, which I get. Again, the argument is there though that he's now been in Super Bowl 2 of the last 3 years. It's like, okay, where's the argument? They have a good team, but it does make you at least kind of think about that. So,
well, can I say it's going to be tough because if the Chiefs come out and somewhat, and in my opinion, you've got to, if you can stop the big play, right? Like the real big runs that Saquon's been ripping off all year, but really in the postseason. But you've got to understand who that offensive coordinator is.
Yeah.
Kellen Moore, right?
Yeah.
And Kellen Moore is a pass happy guy. Yep. And credit to him, he's at least realized, okay, I have to adjust to my personnel rather than just be stuck in what I like to do. Right. And that's tough sometimes. And if the Chiefs show to contain Saquon, I'll be interested to see if that happens, Ty, where are they gonna put it now on Hurts' arm? Are they gonna still like, hey, we gotta keep chipping because Saquon has the ability. You keep at it and keep chipping away. He's due to break one,
Right.
So
it's
plus that outrageous stat on like what first contact being almost like 2 yards for him. Like that's outrageous.
Dude, he's averaging over 125 yards a game. Wow. A game. Like that's nuts. In the NFL, that's video game, numbers there. It's like, oh yeah, 120, like that's video game numbers.
Yeah.
But
he's 4 touchdowns away, I believe, from tying the postseason touchdown record or something. I think he has 8 this postseason. Yeah, so whew.
Yeah, that's pretty intense here. But so obviously we got some lines, we got some games, we got some prop bets and stuff that we can get into here. Is it everybody's favorite time yet? You think so? It might be.
Bearded Best Bets.
Is time for the best bets. This is going to include both, yes, our best bets, but also our prop bet stuff as well. So we'll get into some of that stuff again. If you want to follow along, down along the bottom ticker here, you can kind of see what we're betting on, what we're talking about here in terms of numbers and everything like that. So numbers
when we say prop bets, he means our prop sheet, right? Because some of our best bets may be actual player props. Just saying.
Yes. Yep. So let me get into one of my best bets here that I'm looking at that I am going to take. I don't know if you saw, because I know we always like the different crazy bets and stuff that you can take on some of the different sports books. But there is a bet out there on FanDuel where you can actually get a share of I believe it's like 500,000, 500 million.
For which book?
It's the anytime touchdown one. $5 million touchdown jackpot.
King of the end zone.
Yeah. So you can, if you make an anytime touchdown bet, and your player hits first or last, you win a share of $5 million. I know the King one's a little bit different, but this one you actually you win a share of $5 million. And it was kind of neat to look at. It's like, hey, if 10,000 people bet this and you win, a couple $100, whatever. So one of my best bets, not even just because of this, but I took an anytime touchdown bet on Jalen Hurts to score.
Ooh, okay.
All right. And if we can actually get into it too, and if I can give you a step further here, now I know we'll talk about it and kind of analyze it, look at, and we'll give out a first touchdown bet. I think that the Eagles are going to score first.
Mm-hmm.
All right. They may even go up 10-0. But when it's all said and done, I think the Chiefs come down in the end and they show that, hey, we're the Chiefs again. Sorry, it was nice letting you guys hang around for a little bit. But I think the Chiefs do come out in the end. So do you want to give final scores a while, or are we going to save that after our best bets here?
We might as well save it when we go through like prop sheet, unless it is one of your bets, like over under.
Oh yeah, we'll get in that
Is
prop
it?
bets. Yep,
Okay.
we'll be good. Cool.
So you're right now. Now is that like I know we don't like to restrict ourselves, but that's like considerable recipe pick, like just anytime touchdown, Jalen Hurts, or like
I
that's
I I struggle sometimes to make an anytime touchdown bet my recipe pick,
yeah.
even though there have been times where I have put parlays together and I'll usually hit about 4 or 5 or 6, out of a bigger parlay, and I always miss one.
Yeah.
But
So just to clarify, Ty, as long as your guy scores the first or the last touchdown, you win. Even if it's
sure,
two different players, correct? It have to be. Because how would you win the last, right?
so you have to take an anytime touchdown bet on the player. It can't
Yeah.
be a first touchdown. It cannot be a last touchdown bet. It's an anytime touchdown bet. And I took Jalen Hurts. So if Jalen Hurts scores first, then I win a share of the 5 million, or sorry, 250, 25, sorry, 2.5 million if it's first, and then there's a 2.5 if it's last.
Okay. So let's say Hurts scores first.
Correct.
And then
I get a share of 2.5.
And then Barkley scores last. Then gotcha. Somebody else that bet Barkley would get that 2.5.
2.5. Yep.
Gotcha. Cool.
Now,
like
now
that.
I don't know this. I definitely want to look into this a little bit more. But what the hell happens if Hertz scores first and last?
I think then you go 5. I would have to go 5.
You'd have to, man. That'd be freaking. You imagine that? Shit?
Because that's kind of the key on their advertisement is says $5 million touchdown jackpot.
Right.
Right. So then there is the chance if your guy would bookend the game, meaning score first and score last.
Sure. Yep.
Then you're set. All right. So I guess to stick on these like little bit of like fun wagers and specials, I personally am a fan of the DraftKings one as well.
Mm-hmm.
Now that is where you must place a $5 wager on any sort of touchdown scoring bet. And if your player ends up scoring the longest touchdown in the game, you get a share of $5 million in bonus bets.
Whew.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think like it really.
You're also betting it's an anytime touchdown, right?
So yeah, you can bet anytime if you prefer. Like, so here's the thing: is then you win. Like I put one on the. What was it? I forget what round it was, but I put $5 on Rashad Bateman anytime touchdown score. He scored the first touchdown of that game, just wasn't the longest, so I didn't get the bonus bets, but you still win your anytime touchdown scoring bet.
Right.
So it's like if you pick a guy now, that's always the thing too. Is like you sit there and look at some of the odds. The more people that pick the same person, the more that divvies up. So like Saquon got it the 1 week. And now I still think this is good. Everyone got like $40 in bonus bets, which is still awesome. But
yeah.
So I do have a player in mind for that.
Okay.
And he's a player that I think is a key figure into the Eagles hanging in this game.
Ooh,
and this is my play on that king of the end zone on DraftKings is Devontae Smith.
Ooh, good odds too.
So Devontae Smith, anytime touchdown score.
Nice.
And then I'm also, can I go ahead and get like my best bet, just regular straight up?
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
I like him for 50 plus receiving yards.
Okay.
Average is about 60 a game. The 2 times in his career that he's played against the Chiefs, I think it's 2021 and then 2023. He has scored. He has had 122 receiving yards, and then second time they played him in the Super Bowl, I believe it was, he had 99 yards receiving. So I think a lot of people know AJ Brown is such a threat, and I think that leaves a lot of space for him to get free and get open. So
yeah,
I like 50 plus receiving yards. I believe it's about minus 112 on DraftKings. So,
Okay.
but he's also my king of the end zone. I'm going for the deep shot.
All right.
Uh,
I'll throw another best bet out here too. Just because I feel like he always, especially playoff time. I know he's kind of been quiet most of the year, not because of his stardom, but because he's very loud with that. But I'm gonna go with Travis Kelce's receptions.
ooh,
His receptions are on DraftKings are 6.5. He's averaging 5.9 a game. But if you take his over, I'm going over 6.5 plus 123 odds. I would say I would say it's more likely that he's going to get at least 7.
okay.
And I'm not saying tons and tons of yards here, but I have that weird sneaky suspicion Kelsey will be this kind of safety valve at times because I think Jalen Carter is going to get after him. A couple other guys on the Eagles are going to get after Mahomes a little bit, flush him out. And Mahomes can always kind of distribute wherever he's at from however he throws the damn ball. So
Yeah.
But yeah, over 6.5 receptions for Kelsey plus 123. So
Wow.
yeah.
All right. And Kelsey he hits his overs in the postseason quite often. That is his trend for sure.
Yep.
One more fun one for me, Ty.
Okay.
This is a sprinkle. Total, ready for this? Total players to have a pass attempt. Over 2.5. Plus
Okay,
180.
so one other person plus 180.
Plus 180.
Whoa, especially with these two teams, knowing some
Gimmicks.
of the the hoopla that they can do, especially in a big game like that. Plus
Barkley,
180. What book's that on, man?
DraftKings, and you go under Super Bowl licks specials.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm just making a joke to LAX, but you go under Super Bowl specials and you scroll down to I think it's just under passing props. Yeah, passing specials. Yeah, over 2.5. I kind of looked at that. I heard that last week, and sometimes you just take some time out of your day and just look at all the different wagers you can make on books.
Mm-hmm.
And that really jumped out to me. I think it actually started. I believe it was plus 150 at one point. Now it's already plus 180. But I look at Travis Kelce has played quarterback before, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know. I just kind of look at. There's multiple guys that I could see on the Chiefs that could totally get a pass attempt. Besides even just Kelce, right?
Well, it's just an attempt. Like it's not even you have to complete the pass.
Doesn't even have to be a touchdown or anything.
Right, right.
Then you with Saquon Barkley on a sweep, that's the ultimate play action. If you could just sit there and link somebody out there after he toss it to him,
Right, right.
So just describe
who knows? Maybe a quarterback goes out for a play.
Exactly.
2.5. I'm surprised the line's at 2.5.
Or fake punt.
Yeah, that's true. I could see the Chiefs doing that.
So
actually, no, I could see the Eagles doing that more.
So I think it's worth a sprinkle to our listeners out there. Might as well dabble. Just think of if you just sprinkle, right? You may not put a full. When I say sprinkle, maybe you're not putting a full unit, your typical unit on it, but just think of the cheer when there's some random trick play, and even if it's a complete dud of a trick play, and you're the person at your Super Bowl party that just goes nuts, and everyone's like, dude, like that was an awful, like, what are you cheering about? Like that guy sucked. Like that was a terrible throw. It's like, you don't understand. Right?
Exactly.
So that's the fun.
Absolutely.
That's the fun. But within your limits, because then it is fun. So if it doesn't hit, you're not like, ruining your night. So
right. All right. So let's go through the prop bets here. Because
prop sheet.
We got some cool ones. Like I said, follow along there on the ticker. Prop bet sheet will be coming out tomorrow. Or sorry. Yeah, we'll put it out. We'll put it out later today. I'll put it out Friday. That way people have a chance to print it and stuff. All right. So we're going to start right up at the top there with the national anthem length in seconds. Now I had, man, when I looked at the numbers on this, and I cross-checked this with about 4 or 5 different sources, 120.5 seconds is the over-under for the national anthem in seconds. All right.
Wow.
Which, when you think, I mean, that's over 2 minutes, right?
Yeah.
And I think Matt, our cousin, even said today, like the average is 143. And I looked back at it from our prop sheet from last year, and I believe it was only about a minute and a half, give or take. So 120 seconds, I don't really know much in terms of, how they're going to sing or anything like that. I'm going to go under on this one just because 2 minutes seems long as hell.
Yeah. Yeah, especially the average is 100. What'd you say? 140 seconds?
A minute 43. And
A
this
minute
says 100,
43.
120 seconds.
Okay. So the average is a minute 43.
Correct.
And they're given 2 minutes. Now,
2
do we
minutes.
know who's singing it?
Stat guys.
I'm looking at it now. John Baptiste.
Okay.
I hate to say this, but like, I have no idea his style.
I know that
But
does kind of
like, what kind of singer is he? Let's just real quick, John Baptiste.
yeah.
I'm sorry to slow us up here, but this might info.
Classical jazz, R&B, pop into a unique style.
Oh, if he's unique style, man, it's got, to me, that's where the minute 20s, or the 2 minute timers coming into play.
Is that what you think? Is that why?
Yeah, it's gotta be. It's gotta be. I mean, you got to look at the person who's saying. Now, that's where what was really tough about last year with Chris Stapleton, I think it was, was I think the fact that we all thought over, because he's kind of like
it did go over.
Did it go over last year?
Yeah, I have all the whole thing from last year.
I still felt like he did more of a straightforward version.
Yeah, he did, but it did go over because I think it was only 90 and a half last year.
I'm going under 120. A 2 minute national anthem. A 2 minute national anthem is ridiculous. Sorry.
I know.
We took a lot of time for that.
I know. Do you want to go coin toss or no? Or you want to stay there for last?
Let's save it for last, just for.
All right. We'll skip that one.
All right. Sake.
Game winner, Eagles Chiefs. Who you got, Trent?
I got Chiefs. I would almost even say it's like. I'll be honest with you, like it's. I feel like people right now, you're seeing the line move in favor of the Eagles just because it has the plus number beside it. But if you look right now, it's the spread's -1, and it's -110. So like money line's -120. So when is it just going to be straight across the board -110 here soon? Mm-hmm. So, but I just listen. If I lose on the Chiefs money line, guess what? It's the first time in how many years, and Patrick Mahomes is more likely to make a Super Bowl than throw an incomplete pass. So that's an absolute ridiculous stat. So Chiefs.
I'm on the Chiefs as well. I do think it's a close game. I think the what'd you say, 1.5 is it favor of the Chiefs, Trent?
Right now it's 1. Chiefs are minus. Yeah, Chiefs are -1.
So then I'll take the Chiefs, and I think they also cover too. But I'll get into exact score at the end. I'll give you my actual thought process with that. So, all right, we got the first half total and second half total. Both are set at 23.5.
Yeah. So do you want me to just rattle both off back to back?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I just saw breaking news for tomorrow that happened last night.
Well, I know we're going to talk about that stuff.
Okay. So I am going under the first half, but then I'm going over the second half.
That's actually exactly how I'm going. I'm going under first half, over second half. I do think it kind of gets a little crunch time, but let's go game total 48.5.
Over for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over too. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go over 48 and a half.
Does that fit your exact score?
I don't know. There's
You're
I'm like
gonna give me an exact score, and I'm gonna be like, dude, Ty, your
I
points
know.
don't add up, man.
No, I know. I'm in between a field goal. I'm debating on a field goal. But
All right.
yeah. All right. Will there be overtime?
No.
I'm also on no. First offensive play, is it going to be a run or a pass?
I I think sometimes when I fill this out, I get way too over analytical, right? I'm like, oh, but everyone's thinking this, and they're not going to do that, and don't be stupid, Eagles. And I just feel like this is where I think they'll think something else for the Chiefs. I said run.
I'm going to go pass.
Ooh.
Because I think both teams are going to try to open it up somehow and catch them sleeping on something early, just to try to kind of get the quick draw of the blood. So I'm actually going to go pass on this.
All right, I like that.
Team to score first. Okay, now that's score. That doesn't mean a touchdown. It could be a field goal. Team to score first.
All right, team to score first. I have selected the Eagles to score first.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going Eagles as well. I'm saying Jalen Hurts on a run.
Jalen Hurts on a run.
Not a tush push, but a run.
Okay.
All right. Next one we got the jersey number of the first touchdown. So I guess I kind of just gave mine away.
Yeah.
The number was set at 15 and a half.
Okay.
We got.
So you're under.
Yeah, I'm under on that one.
Okay. I'm under as well.
Okay.
I mean, the only guys are you thinking that are over are
Kelsey
and Barkley. And maybe Goddard, but
Goddard, yeah, I was gonna say Goddard could.
But you got to think Brown, Devontae. You get like Patrick Mahomes. You can say DeAndre Hopkins,
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts. So I just felt like in this one, to me, the under just made sense.
Yeah,
under 15 and a half.
Okay, next one we got passing yards. Now, some of these may have fluctuated a little bit on some of the books. They actually even fluctuated as I went back and double checked my numbers the other day, but I did adjust. So what we're looking at here is Jalen Hurts passing yards. 212 and a half is the number that it's set at. Are you over or under 212 on Jalen Hurts?
Over.
Okay. I'm going to go under.
Then
I think it's like 205.
Okay.
Patrick
Mahomes. All right, now go ahead.
Patrick Mahomes passing yards, numbers at 251 and a half. Are you over or under?
Over.
I'll go over on this too. AJ Brown receiving yards, numbers set at 69 and a half.
Under.
I'm going to say over, but not by much. I think he gets like 74.
It's tricky. It's tricky for me because I have over on Hurts. But
right.
I just, once again, I think screens to Barkley are going to be the big thing. And once again, I think Devontae Smith has a big game.
Yeah, that's fair. Next, we got Travis Kelce receiving yards, numbers at 61 and a half. You over or under?
I will not. In the postseason, I will never bet a Travis Kelce under. So I am over.
I'm over as well. I'm over 61 and a half. Now we got rushing yards here. First one is Saquon Barkley rushing yards. Numbers set at 112 and a half. And I told you that he's averaging over 125. But the number's at 112 and a half. Only rushing yards.
That's high. That is high.
So high. Against the Chiefs defense, too.
Yeah, that's either if he goes over, then the Eagles are winning. Like the Eagles are absolutely winning. And that's kind of where I was at with Jalen Hurts. I said overpass him because I don't think they're winning, right? And that's just where I'm at.
Right.
My analysis. So I said under. Not going to actually. I will just clarify. This is prop sheet bet, so I am not actually wagering on that under, but I am
Yeah.
picking the under.
Yeah. Yep. No, I'm on. Yeah, that's good. I'm glad you clarified that.
Yeah.
Saquon Barkley, I'm also under 112.5. I think he does get over that total yards. I think he'll have
Yeah.
about 130, but I think he's only going to rush for like 98.
Hmm.
That's my guess.
I would say 80s. I'm going to say he's going to finish in the 80s with rush yards.
Okay. All right.
And a touchdown. He'll have a touchdown.
Yeah. Kareem Hunt rushing yards, 44.5. This was the one, I swear to you, it literally changed as I was going through this. It was
Yeah.
41.5, and all of a sudden I looked again, it was 44.5. I was like, okay. So 44.5 is what we're going with here for Kareem Hunt rushing yards.
I'm going under.
Yeah, I'm also under. I think he also gets some yards though in the passing game. They have too many guys that they try. You know, they still got Pacheco in there. There's a couple other guys, which I could see this being a game where Pacheco actually gets more yards than Hunt, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Time will tell.
Pacheco's had an injury ridden
I know.
year. Right? Yeah. So,
I know.
but it would be a good time for him to get going.
Right.
Big skin.
Longest successful field goal in yards, 47.5 is the number. Over
I said
or under?
over.
I will go over as well. Who kicks it?
I'm saying Butker.
I'm gonna say Elliott.
Okay.
I'll say Elliott, and I think it'll be like an end to half thing.
It was really hard for me to not make one of my best bets. Butker's kicking, like a kicking prop for him, because I feel like they capped him too high. Like I was looking at kicking points. 8 is his kicking points, and it's like it's like minus 170 something. Damn. Yeah, like come on. Like, and then I think it's like, I even think like over 1.5 field goals is definitely like minus 177. It's like, come on. Well, you can get Eagles kicker for over 1.5 for plus 110. But you know, as you're thinking about placing that, remember, that coach, he likes to risk it. So inside the 20, I think he's going for it no matter what.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, for sure. All right. Next on the bet sheets, we have the prop bet sheets. We have longest touchdown in yards. The number's set at 35.5 for the longest touchdown.
I said over.
I'll go over too. I think it'll be AJ Brown. I know you think it's gonna be Devontae, but I think it'll be AJ.
Say that. I'm gonna win $5 million bonus bets. Shush. I'm gonna get a share of it. It's gonna be a 40. It's gonna be a 40. Ready? 42. 42-yard touchdown. It's going to be a crossing route, not a straight crosser, right? Almost like kind of like the angled crossing route. It's going to come underneath, and he's going to take it right down the sideline, and he's going to dance in the end zone.
Okay.
Devontae Smith.
Total QB sacks in the game. This is from both teams. Numbers 5.5. This. I'm not gonna lie. This was very hard to actually find this bet. I ended up finding it on Fanatic. I found it on Fanatic Sportsbook. Everybody else was doing like individual team sacks, but
yeah.
So 5.5 total.
Yeah, my initial gut, like when I was filling my sheet, I went right to the over, and I was like, no. Like I don't know. I just think the Eagles' offensive line is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Jones is good to get to Jalen Hurts. But I just think overall, I mean, it could be one of those lines where it's like a hook. So I think it's going to be like stop at 5, where Mahomes gets sacked like once or twice.
Exactly what I think it's going to be. 5 is exactly where I think it's going to be.
Yeah, so
you also got to take the quarterbacks into account too. Like both of them are good at getting flushed out of the pocket and making things happen. So it's like they don't just sit, and get taken down. So
and they don't take losses. Yeah, they'll throw it away.
Yeah. So I'm under. I agree. I think it's gonna be 5.
Okay.
This is total turnovers. Right now, this excludes turnover on downs. Okay. So this is fumbles and interceptions here. The number is 2.5.
2.5. I said under.
That's fair. I'm gonna go under as well. I think it's gonna be 2. But you also have to keep in mind the Eagles have not turned the ball over yet this playoffs.
So, yeah, unless the Chiefs do something completely out of their norm,
right?
Like, which is like they don't usually shoot themselves in the foot,
right?
So unless they're doing something completely out of the norm, then. But yeah, I'm under that amount.
Next, we got big man touchdown. Yes or no?
No.
Yes, I know as well. Is there going to be an octopus? Player scores a touchdown and 2-point conversion. Yes or no?
It's tempting with Hurts, but no.
That's a good. Dang, I didn't even think of that. Yeah, I'll say no as well. Total touchdowns 5.5.
I love that. I love the over.
Let me see. Hold on. yeah, I'm gonna take. I'm gonna take the over.
Get your calculator.
I know. Yeah, I'm gonna go over. I think it's gonna be 6. Okay. Where? Yeah. 6. Any other halftime bet besides SCA? SZA?
Yeah. Yes, it's her name. It's her name. It's a girl.
No, that's what I said.
I thought you said his name.
SZA. I might have. Okay.
Yeah. No, don't do that.
I didn't do anything.
I'm just laughing at your uncertainty of who she is. But dude,
I meant to prep that and I completely forgot to do it beforehand, so I apologize. SZA.
It's definitely not Caesar. It's SZA. It's got to be SZA.
I didn't say Caesar. I said
no. I know. I'm just speaking in general.
I just announced it as letters. I said SZA. Figured that was safe enough. I'm just gonna spell it.
Oh, I love it. Instead of SZA.
I know who Kendrick. I know who Kendrick is. All right, I love Kendrick. I had no damn clue who the hell this was. So
yeah,
my bad.
Female rapper.
Okay, all right.
A lot of them out there now.
Yeah, a lot of them out there. Scissors.
It is SZA.
Okay, all right. I'm
definitely SZA.
Yeah.
No, I'm like trying to convince myself because I'm pretty sure. Like heard on like a radio commercial or something. Pretty sure.
First name is Edward.
Cut it out. All right. So
yes or no? Any other guess besides SZA?
Dude, I'm just like so uninformed on like modern day music as well in terms of like rap right now. Like I also know who Kendrick Lamar is. Like, don't get me wrong, but like I just said yes. Like I just feel like it's an opportunity for him to just like any close artist that he's friends with or boys with, like why not bring him out for something quick, you know?
I actually have a feeling that Dre's gonna come out. And
really?
possibly even Snoop, because Snoop and Dre are working on a thing right now.
With Kendrick?
No, not necessarily with Kendrick, but I just have a feeling that they could kind of make an appearance. Gotcha. I mean, I'd say Dre more than Snoop, just my opinion. But
got you.
Position of MVP, quarterback or any other position?
Quarterback.
Okay. Mahomes gets it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go quarterback too. I think it'll be him. Color of the Gatorade bath. All right, your choices here. Clear, red, and yellow is one choice. The other choice is any other color.
I want any other color.
Any other color? All right, what color?
Purple.
That's what I was going to say.
Really?
Right after me, I was like, oh, he's going to say blue.
Yeah. Okay. Purple.
Okay. All right, cool. All right.
Wait, Ty, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Is it Fierce Grape or is it Riptide Rush?
Purple. I would say Riptide Rush purple.
Yeah, that's what I envisioned too.
Less chance of stains. I'm just kidding.
If you're getting a Gatorade bath from winning a Super Bowl, I could give 2 craps about a Gatorade stain.
Just don't give 2 craps about them Gatorade stains.
Oh,
All right.
shit.
So my tiebreaker total points here is going to be 51. Okay. The correct score to take
Unbelievable.
for this bet is 27-24 Chiefs.
It's close to me. For a second, I did my own math wrong in my head, so I apologize. I was like, wait, that's the same as me. No, okay. So you said 20.
27-24 Chiefs. Total points is 51.
Weird. Exact same spread that we have, though.
Okay.
I have 31-28.
Whoa. Okay. So you
Yep,
are really
31.
hitting that over.
Yeah, it's gonna be 28-24. No way. Eagles are gonna do it. Chiefs must score a touchdown. And the guy calling the game, Tom Brady, is gonna see the modern day him do what he did all the time.
Wow.
And it's, once again, nothing personal, but as a Raiders fan, that kills me to say.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's no end in sight. But yeah, that's my take.
So we do have one left, but I do want to kind of just mention Trey's pick here of the Super Bowl. So Trey does have a story that he mentions in his video about why he has a bet on the Eagles to win the Super Bowl. So he does have a bet on the Eagles to win the Super Bowl that he made. I think it was a $20 bet. But I do believe that he said he is planning on hedging it because he does think the Chiefs are going to win. So he's going to hedge his bet in some fashion because he feels safer taking the Chiefs to win this game. So, all right, last one we got here, coin toss. Everyone's favorite. Heads or tails?
I am always a tails never fails.
Okay. Tails never. That's who you're on. Tails.
Yeah, I'm always on that boat.
All right. So Trey, in his video at the very end, if anybody wants to check that out, he does mention that he is 1-6. But every year for the last, I believe, 7 years, he said he has made a $50 bet on the coin toss at 1-6. His pick this year, as is mine, is going to be heads.
Damn.
So, sorry, Trent, but
it's gonna make me have to almost wager with you guys, just because I will be so jealous of I'll be so jealous of your joy if you win and I lose.
Right.
But maybe I'll just be the odd one out.
Okay. All right.
I'll risk it. I'll risk it for the biscuit.
All right. Like it. All right. Anything else here football wise? Because actually, yes.
Yeah. I'd like one future recommendation on player prop. Person to score the first touchdown with facial hair or clean shaven in the future.
For this game?
I'm just saying in the future, man. We're the Bearded Baker brothers. We need to have a facial hair prop in there on our sheet in the future. Not this year, but I'm saying yes. I think Devontae Smith, he might have a little 5 o'clock something right there,
Yeah, well, what do we count as facial hair there?
Yeah, I guess Patrick Mahomes got a little bit of.
You gotta have some. You gotta have more. You gotta have more than pubes on your face, dude.
Are you saying Mahomes got a pubes goat?
Didn't say him. I'm just saying, some people out there rocking some stragglers.
They got some wispies.
Oh man, yeah.
Oh.
No, is that a chin or is that a ball sack? Sorry.
Oh, jeez.
All right. Censored.
Yes.
All right. So, yeah, I do want to. There is a couple things I do want to mention because the NFL awards were last night. We got that list as well here. They also did mention who made the Hall of Fame. Tyler's favorite topic. 4 people. You got Eric Allen.
Okay.
Eric Allen, Jared Allen, Antonio Gates, and Sterling Sharp made the Hall of Fame. I will say this, that I agree with 3 of them. Yeah.
No Eli Manning?
No.
What the hell?
I agree with 3 of the 4. Can you guess which one I don't agree with?
Antonio Gates.
No,
Ooh.
I think he should get.
Say the other ones.
Eric Allen, Jared Allen, Antonio Gates, and Sterling Sharp.
Eric Allen, Jared Allen.
Yes, that's exactly who I don't think he should get it. He was a great player. I don't think he changed that position from a dynamic standpoint. He was an excellent defensive lineman. Excellent defensive lineman.
Yeah.
But I think to get in the
Fun
Hall of
guy.
Fame, you have to change your position for some better, I think the other guys did that. So
I
don't
give.
know. I was really happy to see that Steve Smith did not make it. Just again, great receiver, not a guy that changed the game.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I was a little bit surprised to see Eli not in there, but man, that could be one because he had a lot of bad seasons. I mean, he won 2 Super Bowls, but he had a lot of bad seasons early on and at the end of his career.
Yeah.
So
Did he beat Brett Favre's Iron Man record though?
I don't,
Because that'd be something in the future for us to look at. Because if he did set the record for most consecutive game starts, you got 2 Super Bowls. I know he had good teams, but
yeah,
him avoiding the sack on the David Tyree play was
I
almost just
know,
as
I agree.
impressive as the catch. But
Yeah, I
all
agree.
right,
All right,
interesting.
couple other things here too. The awards did come out last night, so real quick, we can give opinions on these. I'm just going to kind of rattle them off if you don't mind. Saving the MVP for last.
Yeah, I only have 2 I freaking hate. But
Okay, so let's start with rookies of the year. You have the defensive rookie of the year was Jared Verse, which I agree with that. The offensive rookie of the year was Jaden Daniels.
bullshit.
Yeah,
You got to
I
at
mean,
least get him tie or something.
yeah.
Like that's
a
bullshit.
lot of these awards are just becoming quarterback awards.
Yeah, the awards are a joke. They're a freaking joke.
So it is frustrating. I mean, Jaden Daniels had a hell of a season. We all agree with that. But
Yeah.
I do agree that it should have been your guy, your tight end there, in Vegas.
Brock.
Yeah. Let's look at offensive and defensive player of the year. Defensive player of the year was Patrick Surtain II. Offensive player of the year was Saquon Barkley. You had the comeback player of the year was Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow was comeback player of the year. That was an interesting one. The
Agreed.
coach of the year was Kevin O'Connell, which I agree 100% with that in Minnesota because everybody ruled them out and he did what he could. And your NFL MVP this year was Josh Allen. You say no.
That's bullshit. That's a pity award. That's a pity award this year.
You think so?
Pity. What are you basing it off of? Okay, so here you go, Ty. You're going based off of wins, then MVP is Patrick Mahomes. If you're going based off of statistical performance, then you're going Lamar Jackson. If you're going off of because I feel bad because he doesn't have anything yet and we need to keep him relevant, then it's Josh Allen. And I'll leave it at that. It's a joke. It was Lamar Jackson's award, and it was completely taken from him because he's won it. It's kind of like, and I hate this guy. You know that. It's like LeBron James. LeBron James could have been MVP how many times in the NBA, but you get MVP fatigue in these major leagues.
Yeah.
So, and at this point now, Lamar needs the next step of dethroning Mahomes. But so does Allen. Allen just doesn't have anything to show for his career at this point, besides getting his ass whooped by the Chiefs every year in the postseason.
Yeah. So you had Josh Allen with 27 first place votes. Lamar Jackson had 23 in second place. Third place with zero first place votes. Saquon Barkley.
It's a joke. Like that's what I'm saying. Like
fourth was Joe Burrow, Jared Goff fifth, Mahomes sixth, Jamar Chase seventh. What the hell? Sam
but none of
Darnold
this.
eighth, Jaden Daniels ninth, Baker Mayfield 10th, and Justin Herbert 11. So,
Wow.
but the only people that have first place votes was Josh Allen and Lamar. So, yeah, it like I said, it goes back to a lot of these awards are just becoming quarterback awards. So let's just call them what they are. But
Yeah.
that's neither here nor there. Last award, just I'll mention too, Walter Payton Man of the Year award went to Eric Armstead, former Niner. Appreciate that. Obviously now a member of the Jacksonville Jaguars, but appreciate that. He's a good dude, man. He's very well deserved. So that's what we're looking at there in terms
According to
of awards.
Trey said he texted me, said the only reason he got that award was having to be coached by Doug Peterson all year.
Yeah.
It felt so bad for him.
Doug Peterson got second place in Coach of the Year. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. That's just a joke.
Oh.
All right. So anything else football wise? Are we good to go here? Happy Super Bowl weekend. Let's go into some college basketball here that takes us into Super Bowl Sunday. So we got a nice little slate here. We will, I promise, put a board out this week. Had some technical difficulties this past week where I was trying to put our board together. I know we talked about them, in terms of wins and losses and stuff. So right now, because spreads aren't out when we're given the picks and stuff, so right now we're just going to pick our winners, and then on our board we'll actually do with the spread.
Right? So when he says technical difficulties, what he means is his board sucked, mine was really good. And technical difficulties. But anyway, no, I'm just kidding. But that's a joke. I do just want to say before we start rattling off these matchups, and I have a little bit to say on some of them if you want some quick insight. But last weekend, coming off that rivalry weekend, and how awesome all the games were, starting at noon all the way till freaking midnight with the Kentucky and Arkansas game. There were, let's see, 1, 6, 7, 8. There were 11 top 25 teams last Saturday that lost.
It was 11. Nuts. It was just
as high,
just a slaughterhouse.
Yeah. Iowa State, Florida, Houston, Michigan State, Marquette, Kansas, Kentucky, Mississippi State, Louisville, Ole Miss, and Vanderbilt. Like that's yeah, I mean it's getting pretty crazy with I know the conference this year is the SEC, right? The SEC I feel is like taking over as top dog from the Big 12 this year. But like those like huge power matchups between these top SEC teams, I feel like there are more blowouts with those top teams than there are like super tight games. I mean, don't get me wrong, I know there's a handful of like, oh wait, what about this game? But I mean, let's look at the point differential between Tennessee and Florida on the two games that they played each other, right? Like Florida beat them by about 40, and then Tennessee just destroyed them last weekend. So very weird. College basketball was hard, very hard this year. So, but I love it.
And real quick too, Joey busted brackets is what we'll call them. Has the SEC with 12 teams in. Three of the number ones are SEC teams that he has projected. Now this was I think this was Tuesday night, but you had mentioned about the slaughtering that it was of the top 25 teams. I mean, then take into account Iowa State ended up losing 2 in a row, right? Kentucky ended up losing 2 in a row. Like these teams, they couldn't really get back. And I know we had texted separately, our group text, but like Ole Miss over Kentucky, like why Kentucky was a dog by 4.5 against Ole Miss. And I'm like, why? Like who the hell wouldn't take Kentucky as a dog? And then Ole Miss won. Like, you know what I mean? It's the lines are just so damn suspicious to me sometimes. Where I'm just like, what's happening here? To a point where like I've gotten so fed up with spreads that I told you guys, hell, I'm starting to go with the overs.
Yeah.
In total game. Like I had a lot of luck with that in the small divisions in the past. Last 2 nights had some success with it with Cleveland State, and then I took Arlington's total game over. So I think that's the route I'm kind of looking at right now to continue forward here with some of my college betting, because these lines don't make any damn sense. Yeah. So, but neither here nor there. Let's get into some of our picks here. So we got 10 games on the slate. Let's start with our noon game. We got Oregon and Michigan State here. Who's your winner? Any insider input?
So I got to go Michigan State. Oregon is in the state of Michigan because they played at Michigan 2 nights ago, right? Lost to Michigan, but I do think it is a little bit of a scary time for Oregon because they've dropped 4 straight now. They're on a 4-game losing streak. But Michigan State also they've run into 2 hiccups back to back. So they're on a 2-game losing streak, and there's no better solution to a losing streak, a road game losing streak, than getting your way back to home. So I got Michigan State.
I'm on Michigan State as well. I think that I think they're both well-coached teams, but I think if you're somebody that's trying to get off the schneid, I think you need a Tom Izzo in there to do that. So
yeah, I think spreads. Go ahead.
No, that's it.
I think spread's going to be about 6.5 points, and I think Oregon will cover though. But
Michigan State, yeah, I can see that. That's a good look. Yep. Next, we got Marquette and Creighton.
Yes,
tell you, Creighton kind of coming around a little bit. Yeah,
they are hot right now. If you look at it, they are. Creighton's on an 8-game win streak. They are, I believe, in second in their conference right now. So, I'm looking at straight up right now, and kind of goes back to what you said last week. Is like Marquette always gets up into the top 5. I feel like under Shaka Smart, but inconsistent and very easily disappointed with them. So they are not typically a team I will wager on. So I'm going on Creighton. I mean, big Kalkbrenner. He just is an absolute. He's a machine. Him and Ashworth together in a little 1-2 game. Honestly, if you watch them beat Providence the other night, it is so entertaining. But Kalkbrenner dropped 35 on them, and Ashworth had like 20-some points. So I'm going Creighton with the upset.
I'll go Creighton with the upset as well. I mean, this has been a little bit of a gauntlet there for Marquette too. I mean, Connecticut, St. John's, and now you're into Creighton. Not an easy 3-game streak here. Last matchup, Creighton did lose 79-71 to Marquette, but I like Creighton in this game too. I mean, they're also at home, so give me Creighton. Yep. All right, next we got Yale Cornell.
Yes, Ivy League. Here we go. The battle of 1 versus 2. All right, 1 versus 2. Yale is in first. Cornell is in second. Yale's on a 7-game win streak. Cornell's on a 3-game win streak. I am going to go. It's a tough one, but based on my typical analysis, I'm actually breaking it. I hate to say that, but I'm breaking my typical stats that I usually follow, which is free throws and rebounds, because Yale favors those categories. But I think Cornell scores the ball much better and more consistent. So, going Cornell money line. I'm anxious to see the spread.
I'm on Yale, and I am looking at rebounds, and they do dominate the boards a lot more than Cornell. But yeah, I'm on Yale.
All right.
Next game we got here is Milwaukee Cleveland State.
So I like this game because Cleveland State just ended a 13-game win streak. And I know you are starting to fall back in love with the Rovers, correct?
Yes.
But I am, with them being at home, I am going with Cleveland State.
Man.
They are first in the horizon. Milwaukee's third.
Oh, gosh. I want to take Cleveland State, and I'm going to tell you what's going to happen here. Okay. This is one of those where, pick Cleveland State, pick Cleveland State. I'm going to say Milwaukee wins this game. Not by a lot. Milwaukee's one of those teams that I feel like anytime I see them and I feel like betting the other team, they always win.
Okay.
So that's kind of the vibe I'm getting with this. I will, I'm obviously going to look and see what the numbers are, but I would definitely If this is, I would say around 135 and a half, 137 and a half, take the over. That's where I'm going with
Okay.
this. So
All right.
Texas A&M Missouri 3:30 game.
Yeah. Whew. So to me, the team that just kind of like Texas A&M just like annoys me. Like
They did the same thing in football to me too. Like they annoyed me
yeah,
in football.
like they're always high ranked, but then when you sit there and look at their like just like why are they not getting destroyed by the SEC? And when you sit there and look at it, they are getting destroyed by the top dogs, right?
Right.
When
Right.
they play the Bamas and the Kentuckys, they get beat.
Yep.
But they take care of business with the bottom of the pack of the SEC and kind of the mediocre of the pack of the SEC.
Yeah.
So I'm all over Missouri in this one. I hope you can get Missouri for plus points at home because I think Missouri is a bomb that could go off here the rest of the season this year in a good way. I'm saying, if not in the very near future for that program.
Dude, their 3-point field goal percentage is 38%, Missouri's, which is actually 27th in the nation. I'm going to take Missouri in this game too. Again, goes back to former Cleveland State head coach. I do think they score a bunch of points too. I think they're averaging 83.3 right now, but I'm going to go Missouri to win this game. I think it'll be close. It'll be close. I bet this is going to be like a 1.5 spread.
Yeah. Let's see that.
All right. Keep moving along here. We got Florida Auburn.
Florida. I'm not going to overthink this. I'm just going to go Auburn.
Yeah. I'll probably take Florida's spread. But yeah, I think Auburn wins the game. They're tough. I've been waiting all season for them to slip up, but it hasn't happened. So yeah, Auburn wins that game. Oh, great. Pitt, North Carolina, 4:00.
Carolina needs it. They need it the most. Pittsburgh is coming off of a terrible loss. Kind of similar to like what Wake Forest did last year after they knocked off Duke, right? You won a big game, and then you have that hangover, and then you piss away your tournament chances. And that's what Pitt's doing. They beat Carolina, right? And now it's like, hey, they're in. And then you get crushed by a bad Virginia team. So
yeah,
I think Carolina at home, I think fans are pissed. So, and I think players have to be pissed. So come out and play with some freaking pride and get a freaking, well, I don't know if they're quad one or not, but get a freaking big win here for your program because you need it right now.
Yeah, I say Carolina wins by 10.
If he loses at home to Pitt, I do think Hubert's fired. I think he's fired. I think he's fired that night or that next day.
Yeah, I could see that.
And then Lebo takes over. Shout out Carlisle.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Next game we got here is Duke Clemson at 6:30.
I know you guys like to give me a hard time about, oh, come on, Tron, you build up games. But the ACC right now, I mean, when you look at the competition, Clemson's number 2, right? Clemson's second behind. It's at Clemson. You know it's going to be an absolute ridiculous crowd number. I mean, look what happened when Duke played Syracuse, and Syracuse is horrible. They almost set their attendance record for the season. They think they did set their attendance record. I mean, Duke has a following. So, and Duke has Cooper Flagg this year, potential number 1 draft pick. So, I'm going Duke. I am going to go Duke. I can't pick against my squad.
Yeah, Duke wins this. I don't think it'll be as close as you might think.
No, I think it's going to be a good game. I think they're going to get challenged.
Yeah. Next, we got Alabama and Arkansas. 8:30 game.
First off, can I just say how wrong I was about Arkansas, Kentucky last week? Like,
dude, I didn't see that coming.
I'll sadly admit that I fell asleep at halftime. Okay, shame on me. But passed out on my couch till like 3 a.m. But woke up and tried to look at the score, and I'm like, no way. But part of me, as much as part of me was like, okay, like he got ran out of town pretty much. But
Yeah,
uh
literally.
but yeah, I was off on that. And this is my one. I usually try to put one out there each week. I think this is my watch out upset alert.
Okay.
Arkansas's a tough place to play. So watch out for some suey calls because I think Arkansas is going to get a big win there.
Think they can score enough points?
I mean, to score with Alabama, it's tough to say, but
So I mean, Alabama's averaging over 90.
if Sears is in his little snide still this game, then I'm gonna say Arkansas is gonna have a chance.
Okay.
And I'm going upset alert on Arkansas. I can't wait to see the spread.
Okay.
If they make it like 1.5, 2.5, then I am betting Bama. Or sorry, I am betting Arkansas.
Okay. All right. Deal.
What did Plug say last week on your episode? He said if it's a trap, you better bring a damn big net
Big
because
net. Yep.
I'm a big guy.
Hell yeah. Love it.
Yeah.
I'm going Alabama with this one, Trent. But
All right, that's fine.
last one, Texas Tech, Arizona.
Yeah. Texas Tech, Arizona. So interesting matchup again because Texas Tech. Can we just talk about how they beat Houston last week? I think you put us on alert for upset there. Because you for some reason are like a closet Texas Tech fan, I guess.
There's two weird teams. I'm going to mention the other one here at the end, but
yeah,
go ahead.
it's all over. But Texas Tech's head coach got ejected in like the first minute of that game.
Yeah.
Against Houston, and they still won. If you're unfamiliar with Texas Tech's head coach, he was the head coach of North Texas when they won the NIT championship and really carried us through that late tournament time in March because I was betting North Texas money line all the way through. But I think Arizona is in need of a big signature win. After losing to Duke, they really hit a little snide and they did come back. And I think this is a perfect opportunity for a very big time win in this conference. So in the Big 12, because it's their first year there. Yeah, first year because they're packed. So yeah, I'm going to Arizona.
Yeah, I'm not picking against the Red Raiders. I'm going Texas Tech.
Right. Who do you think they favorite? Who do you think?
Yeah.
I bet they make Arizona favorites.
Oh, for sure, especially at home.
Yeah,
yeah, they'll pick Arizona to be the favorite. I think maybe a 2.5 favorite.
2.5 point favorite. Okay,
2.5. Yeah, but yeah, I'm going with Texas Tech, and like you said about me picking some of these upset alerts, like, yeah, that was my upset alert last week, but my upset alert this week, going back to another team that I picked a couple times in terms of upset alerts, both football and basketball. Minnesota upset alert beat Illinois.
you love those Gophers. You love those.
It's the other team, dude. It's Minnesota and Texas Tech, and it's literally in both sports of college football and college basketball. I'm just telling you, Minnesota had a pretty nice comeback win the other night against Penn State because they were down big time and ended up winning by 8. But Minnesota's had a couple weird big wins lately. So yeah, Minnesota upset alert over Illinois this weekend. Keep an eye on that one. But that's where my eyes are. So yeah.
I like it.
Hey, one other thing here, I would just like to quickly give a shout out. Like you said, Trent, earlier, we did get to appear on sports podcast last weekend on Saturday, actually. Well, got to kind of appear for us, but you guys definitely gave me some insights, some notes, and things like that. We were talking beforehand, talking afterwards, saved a little bit during. But yeah, Plug Talk Sports. We're going to have him on next week. What we're looking at is we're going to look at releasing the episode on Wednesday. So that's post Super Bowl stuff. We are 110% into college basketball season at that point in time. So we're going to bring Lee on for as a guest on our podcast next week. So keep an eye out for that. Appreciate him agreeing to come on. Can't wait to have him on. Talk a lot of sports here. Really kind of get into getting in the heart of basketball here right now, man. It's like you can almost like feel championship weeks coming up, and we're getting close. So, other than that, anything else here?
Real quick call, no discussion. Duplessis or Strickland this Saturday? Straight up money line. Who wins?
Duplessis.
Yeah, I think I'm cheering Strickland, but I think Duplessis. I think Duplessis does it quick.
I think Duplessis is just a better fighter. Like I think Strickland's a good fighter.
Yeah,
but I feel like the weirdness that Duplessis can bring throw some guys through a loop a little bit, and But I would say, all right, over under 3.5 rounds.
I think this is where it's going to be very weird. I think because Strickland out in my opinion, he out, what do you call it, striked him to the point where when struck him, but in terms of statistics, he did. That's why he feels like he got cheated. So that means I think he realized he's going to have to do a little bit more, and by trying to do a little bit more, he's going to get caught, and that's where I think it's going to go under 3.5.
I think it happens late second round, early third round. That's where I'm going.
All right.
So,
all right. Just had to get that
I
in
agree.
there.
Yeah. What's that?
I said just had to get that out there. Just see what our thoughts were.
Yeah, good call. Yep. All right. Other than that, enjoy the Super Bowl weekend, everybody. Enjoy college basketball on Saturday. Enjoy life. Have fun.
Yes.
All right. Trey will be back next week. Like we said, we got plug talk sports guest Lee will be with us next week. So let's get it going, man. We got a couple things coming up. Oh, and real quick, hey, one other shout out here. Shout out Fast Breaks. It was play of the day with San Francisco yesterday, man. Heck yeah, Steve. Fast Breaks coming out and killing it, putting out the YouTube reels and everything else, man. That was a good win for them too. San Francisco beating St. Mary's.
I didn't think it was going to happen.
I won, and hey, Steve took the spread, and he's put his sprinkle on the money line too, which I think he said was like plus 195. So shout out Fast Breaks, man. Good call on that shit. That was awesome. And hey, we're looking to have Fast Breaks and Kevin Heels on here in a couple weeks as well. We're gonna actually do a collaboration episode together where we're actually gonna both put the episodes on our podcast. So you'll be able to listen on any of the platforms. We'll have some fun with that. Talk a ton of college basketball, especially as we get into big weeks here.
Is Kevin sure? Is he sure? Sure he wants? Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I'll support you, Kevin. Don't worry. even though we suck.
Oh.
But all right. Enjoy the weekend. Trent, good to see you. Trey will be back next week too. All right. See you.